Hey everybody, this is Captain Yeet here for you for the Cartoon Talk. Today we're going to be doing number 80, Ugly Americans. This is not my gameplay. This gameplay is specifically made by the YouTuber Ben Gunn. This is of all the supers, ultimate attacks, transformations, and Dragon Ball Sparking Zero up to this point about the DLC that's about to come out this summer. This is not my gameplay. This is by Ben Gunn. I'm going to put the video link in the pinned comment. So let's get into Cartoon Talk number 80, Ugly Americans. Now my history of Ugly Americans isn't really that vast or anything. When this show came out, it was in 2010, so I was 9 years old. So I wasn't really in the news cycle or anything leading up to the development. Well, not the development, but leading up to when it world premiered for the first time. And throughout the years, I've seen it every now and again when I used to have cable. I never watched it though because I knew it was more of like an adult, so I'm not supposed to be looking at. So I'll just see it every now and again, just scrolling through TV. I didn't really watch it. Plus, the channel that was on, Comedy Central, I went to Comedy Central every now and again as a kid, but not really that much. I mainly was on Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, Disney Channel, ABC Family. I was on like a bunch of different, FX, with the FX has the movies. I was on those channels most of the time. If I went to any other channel besides those, it was rare, especially like Comedy Central. So I never really knew that much about Ugly Americans besides just the characters until a few months ago. I think around September, October of last year, I just found, well, actually, I was recommended some of these clips from Ugly Americans, specifically one clip from season one, episode one, actually, when it was when it was when Mark and Callie were trying to get, well, no, they were getting with each other in the bathroom, and that brain thing that can like float around was like interrupting them. And I don't know why, but I found that so funny. Was she was like, "Can you knock? How do you want me to knock exactly? You want me to just use my head?" And he was like pushing his head against the door. I don't know why. Like it doesn't sound that funny when I'm saying it, but I was cracking up. And I kept getting like, recommended a bunch of more clips of Randall on the boat when they were trying to do that scam with going zombie and a bunch of other clips. And I just found all these clips so funny. And I knew what it was. I didn't know the show name until I read the title, but I was like, oh, these characters look kind of familiar. It's that one show I'll like just randomly see sometimes when I was a kid. So I was like, you know what? I really want to watch this, but it wasn't on anything that I have, so I really bummed out. And I just looked it up one day just to get some general information from it, and it said it was on Paramount Plus. I had Paramount Plus. I didn't just think to. I just thought it wasn't up on anything I had. I didn't actually look. But I went straight to Paramount Plus. I typed it in. It's right there, and I just finished watching it maybe like a week ago. I know I found this show out like around September, October last year, but I was watching a bunch of other stuff, so I wasn't really gung ho. Well, not gung ho, but I wasn't really only watching Ugly Americans. But I finally finished the show like a week or so ago, and it was good. It was really funny. With the plot of this show, it's kind of cool. I ain't gonna lie, I kind of like it. In this world, almost anything exists. I mean, in the main cast, you have Mark Lilly. He's a regular human. His girlfriend Callie is Lily, a demon. They have like an elevator in New York that goes down to the underworld, which is kind of wild. They don't really show any angels walking around. They show like we have Callie, we have Twain, but they don't really show any like angels or anything walking around. I wonder. I mean, there's not a season three. I think I saw somewhere when I was looking up information for the show, it got canceled, which kind of sucks. Plus, that kind of makes sense based off the ending of the show, because I mean, I guess it's somewhat of a pseudo ending, but not really a ending. So maybe if there was a season three or onward, it might have explored like angels and stuff walking around with everybody like Callie and Twain be doing. But you have demons like Callie and Twain. You have a zombie Randall, which is Mark's roommate. Leonard, Mark's partner. Well, not partner, but actually, it's his, it is his partner at his job. He's a wizard that's been existing for like thousands of years. Like just about anything exists in this world. Werewolves, vampires, man bird, which is like they have some unique specific like creatures and stuff for the show, but any type of fantasy monster you can think of exists in the show. And Mark, well, actually, before I continue, I do want to mention I forgot somebody said an offhanded line, which I can't remember who it was or what it was, but it kind of seems like New York is the only place where all of these species coexist. The humans, the vampires, the whatever. Like this is the only place on Earth where they all coexist and be nice. Everywhere else, I guess they're just separated. But New York is the one like what's it called? I guess peace sort of place. And Mark, he works at the DOI, which is sort of like trying to help those type of creatures and people go into society, into New York specifically, to coexist. I guess sort of like to get your green card. And he's like he's a therapist, and he also helps people integrate into the world. And he has like a little main group he always talks to in every single episode. It's the robot, the Jamaican lady, the koala, the little main group, the little brain that could float around that I was talking about in the beginning. He's in there too, which is kind of confusing. I'm not gonna lie because every episode, almost every episode, Mark has to help someone, rehabilitate or something. Oh yeah, there's also the two-headed thing, the tree. It's a tree in this group, and every time he talks, his leaves just rustle, and you see subtitles pop up, which is kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. But anyway, he helps somebody with therapy or trying to integrate into society, and he's doing the same thing with his main group. But none of his main group actually goes out and integrates. They're always coming back here every day to talk to Mark. So I'm like, are they not gonna graduate or anything or get into society? Because he helps other people in one episode go into society, but his main group is always there. I mean, I'm not complaining. They're kind of funny sometimes, but still, it's like, what? How come they're not, graduating? Or I mean, I'm saying graduated like his high school or something, but you get what I'm saying. Like, how come they don't just go ahead and go out there? I don't know. I was just thinking about that when I was finishing the show. But you have Mark, he's a human. Callie Twain, they're demons. You have Randall, who's a zombie. He wasn't a zombie, but zombies just do exist naturally, and you can become a zombie just by them biting you. It's legal. I mean, it's not. They don't just run around biting people, but you can go for a treatment to become a zombie. The only reason why he became a zombie is because he wanted to get with this girl who liked zombie. And as soon as he got with the, I mean, as soon as he turned to a zombie, she doesn't like zombies anymore, and you can't turn back. So that kind of sucks. And he's Mark's roommate. He kind of sucks. I'm not gonna lie. He's always, busting into Mark's room, invading his privacy, recording him when he's not supposed to, posting it. He's a bad guy. Almost everybody around Mark is pretty bad. He's like the nicest guy. There's even an episode about that where his soul is like he's so nice, his soul grows, it's so big that it's like hurting him. Like he can't, like he's like having a hernia or something, and his back hurts because his soul is so good and pure and good. Like that. It's just a whole episode about that, which is funny. I always feel bad for Mark every time. Like that episode when Callie made that clone, because Mark sucks at bowling. So she made a clone for the bowl for him, and the clone rebelled and took over his life, locked him in the closet, started to get with Callie. Callie knew it was the clone and was getting with the clone, and he never knew. By the end of the episode, he never found out it was Callie. I was like, that is jacked up, man. Oh my goodness. And there would be so many episodes where they do so much messed up stuff to Mark. Like Leonard, he was tricking Mark into marrying some girl he was supposed to marry way back in the day when there was like knights and dragons. And once he came out the ice, he was all like deformed and stuff. Then you had, Randall. He always did the stuff I just said. Kelly did that. What was the episode? Oh, there was this one episode. I was like, maybe Mark should break up with Kelly. I did like the Callie and Mark situation. There'd be some episodes where they have some sweet moments. There'll be other episodes where Callie would do Callie stuff. Well, yeah, I remember that one episode where she was Leonard's pimp. I was like, what is happening? Like, her original plan was to just trick him to get money for the car. I'm like, why is he his pimp now? What's going on? That was so stupid, but it was hilarious. But anyway, back on track. There's this one episode where we get to meet Mark's ex girlfriend. And oh yeah, so I'm rambling, but Grimes, he's like the police officer. He's racist against other beings besides from humans. He's really funny. Not just because of the racism, but he is funny for other stuff. But anyway, um, we get to meet Mark's ex girlfriend, and they were like perfect for each other. I think they dated throughout high school and the college. But the reason why they broke up is because Mark, he loves eggs. And I mean, he loves eggs. He eats them all the time. But she's allergic to eggs. And Mark was saying that the allergy to eggs is just you can beat it through willpower. So he forced her to eat eggs. Obviously, she has an allergy, so she started to like cough, get wheezy, so they had to go to the hospital. When they get to the hospital, Mark breaks up with her because she's allergic to eggs. Like you can't. I mean, yeah, I guess it would kind of suck that your favorite food your partner is allergic to, but you break up with her because of that. That's kind of wild. That is kind of wild. That's the only time I'm like, you know what? Maybe Mark deserves what's going on in this one episode. Any other episode, not really. Like when they were the football game, they forced him to take steroids. That was ridiculous. But yeah, I was like, man, this kind of sucks. And then she did experiments on herself to take the allergies away, and she was able to do it. But there was a side effect to whenever she gets really mad, she turns to like a Hulk being, and she was like homeless for most of her life until she met Mark again. And Mark and her probably could have got together because they were perfect together. But I don't know why she got so mad. I mean, Mark, what he said was kind of reasonable. Hey, I can't really, because remember she was on the bed and she wanted to get down, and Mark was like, "Whoa, I can't do that because I'm in a relationship. Now I should cut this relationship off and then I can get with you. But until then, I can't do anything," which sounds reasonable. I don't know why she got so mad. And then Callie getting with a bunch of other dudes and making Mark trying to be okay with that. What? That is ridiculous. No. And then when she changed herself into a dude to get the job in Atlantis, and Atlantis episode was kind of wild. She was like, "Wow, Mark, you're so shallow. I thought you were like you weren't like other guys." I'm like, "What? You're a dude now. What are we talking about?" And then Twain and everybody else was like, "Yeah, Mark, not cool." I know good. You know how if you watch the show, if you're watching this video, you know Randall, you know Leonard. They are not going for that. I don't know why they were getting on Mark. I thought they were something funny, but they weren't laughing. But yo, come on now, that was so stupid. When they were arguing about who's Mark's best friend, I was cracking up, boy, because they started to fight, and then Grimes grabbed an anchor and threw it at Twain and hit him in the head. And Twain, yeah, that man is a huge man child. He does like practically nothing. He has lunch all day. I mean, yes, it does kind of help with the birthday thing. You saw the episode. That was so stupid. It takes up like 60% of the budget. That was so dumb. 60% of the budget is crazy. But yeah, you saw the episode. You know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that was ridiculous. Anyway, yeah, he was also childhood friends with Callie, which is kind of cool. The one episode with Callie when she got was that retcon? I could have sworn with Callie they said Callie's mom got tricked and was in like this ritual that made Callie. But then another episode is showed the flashback of how her mom and Callie's mom met. I mean, sorry, Callie's dad and how Callie's dad and mom met. That was not the whole ritual thing. I was like, yeah, that was. I guess that first ritual thing was like a one-off joke, and then they wanted to expand it. I guess that's what happened because I was like, that's not what she said last time. I was a little confused. Yeah, but Callie had a sister, and Twain and Callie had like this arranged marriage. Callie didn't want to marry Twain, so once they had the sister, Twain was gonna marry Callie's sister, and I was like, what? She's like a week old now. She does age. Oh, okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. It was an ad. Now she does age a lot quicker than usual. I think like every day she went up like 1 or 2 ages, but still that was really weird. And at the end of the episode, she wanted to get with Mark. I'm like, what is going on? Why is this happening? So it was gonna good to happen. That one episode when they were having to like, it was like a really big play throughout all of New York, and Twain was going to become like the leader of the underworld and take over the world. That was supposed to be a play, but then it started to get out of hand to where Grimes died. It actually seemed like he was taking over the world. I'm like, what is happening? And like, at first, I was like, okay, yeah, this has to be a joke. There's no way this is actually happening. But then I remember I think I had to use the bathroom, and I paused it, and I saw there was like barely any time left for the rest of the episode, and he was practically taking over the world. I was like, what? Ain't no way this is happening. What? I was like freaking out, like, what? This is crazy. But no, it was a play. Mark just didn't read the script. That was pretty funny though when he said that. But Twain's brother's backstory, killing all the other brothers, is wild. I mean, I know they were punking him and stuff, but jeez, man. Oh no, wasn't it Twain that did that? It was one of them. It was one of them, but that was really wild. Grimes used to be in the band Earth, Wind and Fire. It was Earth, Wind and Grimes. Back in the day, he was gonna invent rap, but they didn't like it, so they kicked him out the group. He has 15 girls. He won the boy, so him and his wife were trying. So they had 15 kids, and eventually they broke up. The very last episode with the April Fools, when Mark and Kelly got engaged. Well, engaged to be engaged, which is like, just make them engaged. I know it's supposed to be funny, but just make them engaged. But that episode was pretty funny. Grimes put the car on top of the roof. He had that inmate break out of jail to play the psycho boyfriend. And then he was like, then you find it odd I had you break out of jail and I didn't release you? They're gonna put 10 more years on your sentence. And he kept doing that to other criminals. I'm not gonna lie, that was funny. Hey, you're getting out tomorrow. Really? I thought I had life. The man bird episode that man bird episode was disgusting. It was funny though that he was stuck that Grimes was stuck in the costume and he had to fight his way to bird up the bird. Or when Grimes called his youngest daughter every not every Friday, every April Fool's and tells her that he has cancer. Like what is wrong with him? He was like, sweetie, can something Grimes So stupid. Oh, that episode where his partner, I know it's supposed to be a joke, but I was generally thinking, what is the explanation here? Because remember back in the day, he didn't tell Grimes they were doing the trick wall thing, so Grimes shot him, and all these years we assumed he was dead. And then when he was trying to stop the whole thing in the recent in the modern time, he shot him again. He was like, "What? You're alive? Why did you never tell me you survived?" And he was calling Grimes an idiot. I was like, "What?" I mean, it was funny, but I was like, come on, we need an actual explanation because this is stupid. Why didn't he tell him he was alive? And why didn't he tell him they were doing the whole wall trick the first time back in the day? Like, that made no sense. So he got shot for no reason. That was so dumb. That was so dumb. The football episode was funny. I know I'm just rambling now, but the football episode was funny when Mark was like, I can't take steroids. That's illegal. You know what? We really appreciate your honesty. Hold him down. No, he was just trucking everybody. When Randall was feeling sad that Mark wanted a new roommate, I was like, I guess you can feel sad, but you know, Randall, he was just treating Mark so badly throughout the episode to get what he wants. And I know that's supposed to be the joke, but Randall was just so ridiculous. I would not want a roommate like that. Maybe we can talk and some would be cool, but I'm not living with him. Especially with the stuff he does. Oh nah. Oh nah. I'm not doing that. I am not doing that at all. And that's about it for Ugly Americans. I mean, I was just rambling about different scenes. Oh no, actually, before I leave, I do like how at the end of every episode during the credits, it shows different scenes of what was going on in the episode or what happens after the episode. For example, if there was like a B plot during the episode with Randall and Leonard, which that does happen sometimes, the credits, it will specifically show what they were doing. I mean, throughout the episode, you'll see what they're doing, but it will show some extra scenes we didn't see of what they were doing during the episode, or sometimes it will show what happens after the episode. There was that one episode with the ant and went inside of not Leonard, it went inside of Twain to kill him, so they had to shrink down and go inside of Twain to get the ant, and they met like a bunch of these germ organisms in there, and Ground fell in love with a girl organism, which is kind of wild, but in the credits of that episode, we literally see when they go back inside of him, they mingle with the germ people again, and they have a kid. I'm like, what? It was funny though, because I was like anticipating the credits each time. I wonder what they're gonna show this time. Oh, the tree, those two trees. That was a crazy episode. Like, what? Who thinks it is? I did see somewhere. I forget where I saw this, but I did see somewhere that the show got canceled, which really sucks. I wish it didn't get canceled. I mean, I guess probably at the time it wasn't getting. I don't know why. I didn't look up why, but I'm guessing at the time when it was coming out for the first time, I guess the ratings weren't exactly that good, or maybe the audience score. I don't know why it got canceled, which really sucks. Actually, yeah. Actually, before I end it, let me look up why it got canceled. I would like to know why. It was a pretty good show. I would like to see like a season three if they ever do make that one day. Okay, I'm back. So it specifically says here when I looked it up, Ugly Americans was officially canceled by Comedy Central in May 2013 after two seasons due to a combination of lukewarm ratings and high production costs. While the network intentionally considered renewing it, they were unable to secure outside financing to support the show expensive animation production. Here are some specific reasons: low ratings, despite a cult following to the show that not pull enough viewerships to Comedy Central, high production costs. That's kind of wild. I mean, obviously, if it came out today, people would love it, or people would probably say, people love it now, but they love it back then, which kind of sucks. Also, it says it costs a lot to make the show, which is kind of wild. I mean, I know this came out in 2010, so well, I guess it costs a lot to make a show like this back in 2010. Not saying the show looks ugly or anything like that. I'm not trying to say that, but doesn't look anything doesn't look too crazy. I mean, but I don't know the type of style they do or anything. I don't know the whole interworkings of animation. I know the basics and stuff, but it doesn't look like anything too crazy. I don't know any fight scenes, but they might have been doing something I don't know of. So, I'm not one to talk. But yeah, I guess that kind of sucks. Oh, remember the Lady Hoo Ha episode where Grimes had that head injury? Grimes, do you think this bird is Lady Hoo Ha? What bird? Strap him down. No, get off me! No. Took him away. Oh, that was so funny. I was cracking up. But was Grimes' mom always a mummy, or was she just a mummy when she died? I was kind of confused about that. I'm not gonna lie, that really confused me if she was always a mummy or she was just a mummy when she died. But yeah, that's about everything that I have with Ugly Americans. Like I said, my history isn't that vast with it, and also I just yeah, I just watched it a few months ago, so that's everything that I have with Ugly Americans. The reason why I'm showing Dragon Ball gameplay is because in the world of Ugly Americans, just about anything exists in that world. You got werewolves, different a bunch of different creatures. Same thing with Dragon Ball. I was gonna show One Piece gameplay because One Piece does have a bunch of different creatures and stuff, but I've been showing One Piece gameplay for the past 2 weeks on my channel for the One Piece reviews, and I haven't really shown anything Dragon Ball. I was gonna show that one, that game Return to the Multiverse for Family Guy. I did. This is my second time recording this. I was gonna show that, but the video I had just kept going, not going off and on, but it kept going black screen, off black screen, black screen. I was like, well, I probably want something more just continuous. And I was like, well, Dragon Ball has a bunch of different creatures. I guess I'll so some gameplay of that when I talk about Ugly Americans, okay? Because I doubt you guys just want to see a blank wall while I'm talking, and I mean not showing anything. So yeah, about it. That's about it. So like, share, and subscribe, and see you all later. Thank you all for watching. I think you all let every woman human beings, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, bye. Oh, you know what? It really sucks because I was looking up a bunch of edits for Ugly American. Because if you know me, I love edits. I like to put them in the comics, depending on whatever thing I'm talking about. But I couldn't find any edits for Ugly Americans, not one, which really sucks, man. I really wanted to edit for Ugly Americans. But yeah, okay, that's it. I want to end on Piccolo. Oh no, Piccolo ending. Oh no. Let me see here. Alright, I'm back. I guess I'll end it on some Broly gameplay. He is my favorite character in Dragon Ball Super Broly. So, alright, yeah, that's about everything I got for you guys today. So, bye bye. See y'all next time. I did like also that Mark would have like a narration at the beginning of the episode, each episode, and something at the end that would obviously pertain to whatever they were talking about. I did like that. But yeah, okay, that's it. Bye. Broly! Ugly Americans. I'm sorry, Ugly Americans.